You've heard me say in all my videos probably that I'm using an all-purpose wine yeast, but what does that actually mean and what else is out there? This week I'm going to tell you about different yeasts that you can use and one very special yeast that I will get into in another video as well, but I will show you a little bit about. If you're a student like me, I bet you've looked at your glass of beer or a glass of wine and figured, hey, I can make that myself as well. On this channel, I will tell you how to make that and how to make anything you want. If you can think of it, you can make it. This is Dormdrinks. Today, because I still have to work out some of the boosters that I'm already working with, I will tell you a little bit more about the different yeasts that you can use. Because you've probably heard me talk about using an all-purpose wine yeast or a yeast specifically made for meat. But I will tell you a little bit more about what's out there. First of all, there's just plain old bread yeast. You can buy this at any supermarket, grocery store, and it will do the trick. It will make alcohol. Now, to say that it works the best, that's a bit of an overstatement. Bread yeast can't stand high alcohol percentages, so it will probably only go up to between 5 and 7%. But it does do the trick if you want to try it at home. Just buy some bread yeast, pop it into a bottle with grape juice, honey juice, something like a honey liquid, or anything else. You can even just buy a sugary drink and just pop it in there, pop on a balloon, and it will work. You will get alcohol. So it's a nice stepping stone for you. Next, there is what I primarily use, and it's an all-purpose wine yeast. You can use this for any kind of boost that you want to make, and it will give you a nice percentage, mostly about 12%, the percentage that I'm aiming on as well. You can use this for almost any wine that you want to make. Sugary drinks, you can use it for meat, you can use it for wines, apple ciders, whatever. It will do the trick. And it's just a nice all-purpose thing to use all around. For meat, because I started out making meat and then worked my way into wine and such, I use a meat yeast. I buy these at a brewer's market, and it's specifically made for meat, and yeah, it works fine. It works perfectly, actually. The meat yeast does go up to a percentage of about 14% ABF, which is nice if you want to make a nice high alcohol wine. A yeast that you can think of if you actually want to make wine is a Bordeaux yeast. This goes up to about 14%, and it's a nice dry wine. You can use this for both red and white wines, and you can use it for some other fruity wines like blueberry, grapes, and elderberries as well. It's just a nice wine yeast to use if you actually want to make a nice red wine or a fruity wine. Another yeast that you can use is a port yeast, which goes up to about 16%. But if you add enough sugar, it will keep it quite sweet, and which is quite nice, and it's typical for a port. You can use this as well with different fruits and juices, but it does make for a great wine with a bit of sturdiness in it as well. Now, the last little package that I have is a champagne yeast. This will go between 12 and 17%. And it's really nice if you want to make any kind of white wine. You can actually even use this for apples and pears, and it will give you a lovely drink. A lot of brewers actually mainly use champagne yeast because they just like how it works. So I am going to try that in some other video as well. Now, the last package that I have is a real doozy. I already posted something about it on Instagram, and I'm gonna make a whole nother video about it some other time, and I'm just really excited about it. And it's turbo yeast, which is quite a big package compared to the champagne yeast, but they will both make about 20 liters of booze. Now, you can already see the C24 on this, and it is actually the time that it takes to ferment. This whole package, if you add this to a sugary substance, liquid, it will take 24 hours to fully ferment. Something that normally takes about 2 weeks. I mean, the cola one is about 2 weeks old and it's still fermenting. This will do it in a whole day. That's it. Now, if you can probably guess that if it takes that short to ferment, it might not be as good as something that ferments in 2 weeks. And you're totally right. A turbo yeast is mainly used in distilling, because if you make a normal wine that you want to drink at home, it's not gonna taste great. But if you want to distill, it's a great way to be done real quickly. I mean, if this only takes a day to ferment, you can have a distilled booze in 2 days. I mean, you can take 1 day for the fermentation and 1 day for the distilling, and you're done. It's real handy, real easy. However, it is quite a volume. I mean, this is the same as this little package. It's a bit heavier. This is 175 grams, and this is about 8 grams. But it's real nice and real handy, and I'm really looking forward to this, because I'm really looking forward to how this looks. I'm actually gonna try to film a little bit of this fermenting, because I'm pretty sure that it will be like an explosive fermentation, something that you have if you make a real high sugar content wine. You will have that in the first day, that it will be a sort of explosive fermentation. It will get into the most of the times it can get into the little balloon that I use on the top, and this will most definitely be the case with that. So I'm really looking forward to it. And that's about it for today. I am still working on some other stuff. I just finished up day 2 of the Applejack freeze distilling, which will be online soon. And hopefully in a week or 2 I will have the turbo yeast online as well. I'm still working on some other stuff. The first video, whole video of the wine that's going to be online, is probably going to be the Sprite video, in which I will ferment Sprite. It will be one of the soda series. The cola is still doing great, and I just finished the meat that I made in the first video yesterday actually. So I'm gonna put that all together and throw that online probably next week or something. In that order, I'm still working out the older videos. I'm trying to get those in one nice big video as well. And in the meantime, I'm still making different boozes. So in a few weeks, I'm gonna start uploading boozes again, both old and new. And in the meantime, I'm gonna tell you a little bit about fermentation, about yeasts. I'm gonna show you turbo yeast, because this only takes a day, and the other ones take both 2 weeks, and then a re-racking secondary period, which is between 2 weeks and a month. So this will be done real quick in comparison to those. Now, thank you for watching. You can subscribe and like the video if you liked it. You can follow me on social medias like Facebook, Instagram and Twitter. And I hope to see you next week again. Now, thank you for watching. Have a good day and drink safe.